How's it going, guys? Howdy. Welcome to episode 39 of Arctic Talks. It's not 69, unfortunately.
We'll get there soon.
Yes, soon.
You'll know what's going to happen that one.
Sigh. So...
What? Lots of puns about this, about 69.
Yes. So, what about episode like 666?
Yes, on episode 666, we'll all hang ourselves because we're still doing it for 666 episodes.
And on episode 66,
we'll be like 39 years old.
On episode 66, we killed the Jedi. And then we're done.
Bring some kids in.
We should do on November 5th.
November 5th? What's going on then?
Remember the 5th of November?
Oh, okay.
God. I've always said we need to do a V for Vendetta.
That would be cool.
Like I've been talking, and it was 2 years ago.
Okay.
The 5th of November was a Saturday, and we didn't do it. And I was really mad.
I've got an idea for an event.
No, you don't.
So this was, if you guys follow us on Facebook and Instagram, obviously if you're watching this, you follow us on some form of social media. There's that T-Rex costume for adult night, this past adult night, and we could do just an idea in a Jurassic Park themed airsoft event. You know, like you have these like terrorists that are trying to break out the dinosaurs, and you have like the security forces, and then you have the dinosaurs, which make this like weird kind of.
It probably makes a little more sense at an outdoor field.
Maybe, or you can make like buildings like the like the cages,
the paddocks.
Yeah, come on, be a little creative.
Yeah, but I'm not in it.
As usual. No.
Okay, I'm sorry for trying to bring genuine original content to the table, but you know what? Never mind.
I'm bald in a second. Could be weird though.
Oh, me.
But
weird.
This week's topic is trends in airsoft. So talking about everything from trends in gun design to players' attitudes to the sport/hobby in itself, and where things are going, things that have been happening lately, things like that. So we're going to start with our usual news segment that James put together this week. It's spent tons of time doing.
There's a lot happening this week in airsoft.
Yeah, tons.
Something tells me that I guess there's tons.
And then, can I see the product spotlight this week? So in a little bit, we'll be talking about the FNX 45. It's been out for a few years, but still remains a pretty nice pistol. Do we have one in the pro shop? I mean, in the store with the optic on it?
Yes.
Yes, we do. No, it works. It's one of the light-based ones. It works.
Well, not the...
This is live.
What? No, it works. I always mess around with it. You just need to look.
I wonder why it doesn't work.
Not like I always look down at it.
It's like I didn't do a whole video, of me just trying to shoot one.
You guys are clowns. But I think that you people, the viewers, will enjoy what I have selected for this week's news topic.
Yeah, for the one thing.
So before we get into that, though, I'll let James do the upcoming events, announcements, and such.
Okay, so upcoming here at Extreme Airsoft, this upcoming Sunday we have Off Transylvanian Terror. That is going to be our Halloween-themed event. There's going to be a lot of fun stuff going on. It's going to be super villains versus horror movie villains. We have a lot of great props. They're doing a lot of cool construction stuff in the back room regarding that. A lot of really fun game modes. Pre-register online to save $5. Go to extremeairsoft.com/upcoming-events to pre-register for that.
Or just go to our main website, which is even easier.
And it'll say...
Yeah, and then just follow the clicks for that. We will be doing we should be doing a zombie night, correct? And that will be on the Thursday following?
Yes, that should be November 2nd.
You didn't tell him about the raffle.
Oh, well, yes. I'm sorry.
And
of course,
the costume contest.
A raffle and a costume contest. What is the prize for a costume contest again?
I can't tell them. They just got to show up and be expecting a prize.
All right.
You guys will get a prize.
A little bit of secrecy on that one. But yes, there will also be a raffle. We got a few cool things. Should be seeing a G&G gun, maybe a pistol or two for raffle on there. Of course, other swag.
We got
from your boys at Extreme.
Oh yeah.
And let's see. And then Oh, also Nerf Night. I can't forget that. So before,
We also have M&M's now in the store.
we've had that for a while, haven't we? Or is that like recent?
That's not like recent.
That was like last week, this week.
Ah, okay. Well, we also have before, so Opportunity Winning Terrace is upcoming Sunday. And then Wednesday, we have our first adult night. Well, not another adult night.
Literally the opposite. Literally the exact opposite.
Exact opposite. The inverse adult night, which is actually Nerf Night. So Wednesday, Nerf Night is back. It's back, baby. It's going to be from 5 to 7:30. Ages, I think this year we're doing ages 13 and under. The entry is $10, and it's $5 for dinner. But since it is the night after Halloween, if you show up, or if your child shows up in a costume, he gets free dinner, which is a $5 value. So definitely show up in your costume, show off, and that will be fantastic. Nerf Night is going to be running all the way through, I think, March of this next year. We're going to be doing every single Wednesday, 5 to 7:30. Entry is $5, and it goes down no matter depending on the amount of people you bring up. A dollar off per head. See the website for details on how the full car discount works. And then, of course, afterwards, like we talked about a little bit earlier, Thursday night is going to be a zombie night. So that'll be quite a fun thing.
Thursday night should be. We're gotta confirm it tomorrow, but then we'll be throwing up something on Facebook and the website and all that, so you all can be 100% about it. But so this zombie night, we did it a couple times in the past, around 2014. If you've been around for a while, it's pretty fun. It works like however many people show up. Say like 40 people show up. We have a few different missions that get run. They're survival-based missions, and so we take a certain number of those players, say like 8 of them, and it cycles through all the players, so everyone has an opportunity to survive multiple times. We pick like 8 names out of a hat, and they get to be the survivors. Everyone else is a zombie, and you have to find your weapons, find your melee weapons, find your all the supplies you need, like depending on the mission, all that kind of stuff. And and then the next round, 8 different names get pulled out, and those first few are zombies, and it keeps going like that. So it was a much bigger hit than I expected last time, and I'm hoping we'll kind of get the same response this time. There was like, I think 40-something players last time. Like,
damn, on a Thursday night?
On a Thursday night, it was awesome.
Some good stuff.
And it was a great time. Again, more than I even expected. So hopefully we'll see that again. It was really cool. Anything else that I'm forgetting coming up?
I mean, there's Adult Night, Friday, November 17th. I'm sorry, 18th, and then the 17th is our November Pistol Shotgun Night.
Do you have the calendar right there and you managed to mess up the dates?
No, I corrected myself. And yes, I do have the calendar up, but what's that mean?
You messed up. Yeah, okay, yes. The answer was yes.
Dad.
Well, I corrected myself.
But you still messed up. Oh, we're closed to the day after, I think. Or on Thanksgiving, though.
Yes,
okay.
we would be closed on Thanksgiving. I don't
Yay!
know. Do you want to be like selling BB gun stuff like when your family's having dinner?
I don't know.
I just want my family to come here
I don't know,
and have dinner.
Maybe when after spending a day around my family, I want to go shoot some people.
Hey, I have a question.
It's probably in now.
What's up?
We are not live on Facebook.
Whoops.
Is that the question?
I clicked go live.
Yes, that was the question.
Oh, yike.
So my boy Mini Demon says, hell yeah, I'm coming to Extreme December.
Cool.
He's curious.
Something went wrong. Cool.
And we're not able to go live with this.
So I'm curious. My brother wants me to do Nerf Nerf morning this winter, but I'm 14. Can I do that or not? So you're 14 years old. The age cutoff is 13. In previous years, we did age 12. So I'm going to say no. 14 years old. I mean, you can do a private Nerf party with your family. However, but for like Nerf night itself, it is generally a younger crowd. And your parents, I mean, you show up as a 14-year-old. I'm sure you're very respectful, but you show up as 14-year-old, and it's
parents are not happy.
Yeah, parents are kind of uneasy about that. So honestly, man, 14 years old, you're more than probably capable of playing Airsoft, and trust me, it's a lot more fun.
That's true.
Want to start talking about the news thing? I need to.
Yes. Okay. So the news.
Take a second.
The news.
What's in the daily news?
So the news. This was from about a week and a half ago. This was released.
That did not work.
So if you guys are a part of the Cool Guy Gear community, you know that you love your flannels. The Cool Guy Gears, they love their flannels. And All Skill No Luck has released tactical combat shirts in the flannel option. You can get them right now in gray, gray, red, and blue. They're sort of just like a Cry Precision combat shirt. You have that nice like moisture wicking fabric that's very stretchy. It's black right here in the middle, and if you go down a bit, you'll see it.
That is a yes, daddy moment right here.
And it also comes as 2 pieces, so you can actually remove like a vest style kind of thing, or you can just wear it as a combat shirt, which is very cool. They retail at about $100. They are going to be making tan and green variants.
Thank God.
They're going to be limited edition runs for the first off, but other than that, that stuff should be really cool. And a lot of the Real Steel community was kind of salty about this because it's kind of an airsoft fad. It started out in like 2014, 2015. You know, it's definitely an interesting design, but I mean, think about it. Like, you know, you got like that lumberjack kind of feel, and you're just slinging bodies in your.
Bro, I wear flannels when I play airsoft anyways, so like.
Heck yeah, and
a tactical shirt would be.
And Jessie loves to steal my flannels, so now she'll have a flannel that she can wear too.
She can wear that, and it'll be sweaty and gross.
At Facebook today.
Okay, so Facebook isn't working, so if you're on YouTube, this is an exclusive YouTube podcast.
And eventually we might only broadcast to YouTube because it's a lot more friendly to us in general.
Streamers, yes.
So,
wow, Mark Zuckerberg sucks. Whoa.
Get sucked.
Yeah, right? Get sucked, nerd.
Bro, got me
well, that's really frustrating, but alright.
That's dumb.
Here, I'll make a post on the Facebook page regarding that.
Yeah, throw a link up.
Yep.
Oh yeah, the flannels. So, also, I just had a thought. We should definitely call ourselves the Stream Squad.
The what? The Stream Squad?
Stream Squad, like us three. Stream Squad.
Stream Squad!
That would imply that we can all get the same day off to play Airsoft.
Yeah. I don't know the problem.
One day, maybe.
One day.
Maybe one day. I'll make it happen.
There we go.
Or maybe not. But.
I wear this one. I like that one.
I like a lot of the.
I feel like that's a Jake Blyer kind of shirt.
A lot of my
That
flannels.
actually is.
A lot of my flannels, like they have that navy blue. I just really like the look of the navy blue. I have a navy blue and like yellow one. I mean,
So you're saying the Real Steel community not a fan?
Yeah, the Real Steel community was like, oh, Airsoft fad, meh. But for the most part, it's got very positive reviews.
What do they care? What do they care? Let me do what I want.
Positive reviews. People have already bought these. I thought they just went on sale.
No, I'm sorry. Well, positive like people are very
Feedback.
excited about it. Yes, yeah, opinions, yes.
Okay.
But it's just about all sold out for every size and color right now. Like,
I should just release a product and then immediately say it's all sold out so people think it's popular. I swear sometimes these websites do that.
yeah, they only have like 15 in stock.
No, like they had 0 in stock and they're just like, wow, they're already all sold
generate
out.
already people that are like, I want it now.
Exactly. I feel like Intel did that with their new processors. We'll put 6 out there. Good luck. Right, James?
Yep. Yep. I can't wait to get my new processor halfway through 2018.
Really?
Then they're gonna release a new one.
Dumb.
Yeah, no, they had a laughable amount in stock when they released like the best processor they've released.
The best part is they came in stock for 20 minutes and James didn't see
I was in class. I was in class and I got out of class. An exam. So I couldn't even buy it in class. I got out of class and I'm like, look at this, my stock notification. I'm like, So I go to go buy it literally as I'm walking to my car and it's already out of stock. And I'm like,
So what else is in this week's news, James?
that's really it. Really, there's not a lot going on in Airsoft. I mean, ASG released a bunch of single action.
Where's the link to that?
But here's the thing: they're the caliber 4.5 millimeter. They're the metal BBs. They're not Airsoft guns, so it's not worth.
So they're air guns.
Yes, they're air guns. Thank you. That's what I was looking for.
Any
Not really a lot on that.
Any updates on when the Umrex Glock may come out?
Not really. I mean, if you guys have been in the store lately, I think I mentioned it last week, but we are doing pre-orders for the Glocks. The expected release date is going to be about December 2017.
And what's the MSRP again?
MSRP is going to be about 170.
As expected. I mean, we discussed this before the prices came out, that we knew Glock was going to be like trademark money.
Yeah. Well, since they lost, it's speculated that the reason that they opened up this business relationship with Umrex is that they lost that military contract, and they put a lot of they kind of counted their eggs before they hatched, and they put about $500 million into making and manufacturing all these Glocks for the military, and the military went a different route, so they're trying to make up about $500 million in sales.
See, it's funny.
They totally thought that they were going to get that military contract and went balls to the wall.
It's funny with Glocks. I feel like it's either love them or hate them. Personally, I don't care for them at all. I don't think they're comfortable. I don't think they shoot well.
The reliability factor is huge. I mean, they're like the cockroaches of guns. They just will not break.
But like, I mean, you have one. How do you think the way it shoots? Does it stun you, or is it like?
So, full disclosure, I don't have much experience shooting a very wide range of pistols, so I can't really give an educated opinion on that. But my own personal opinion shooting the gun is, I mean, it's comfortable to hold. I have the Gen 4, so it has the finger grooves. I mean, as comfortable as a rectangle pistol can be.
That's my issue with it.
But the pistol, so I put a new trigger bar in there, like a lightweight trigger bar. It makes the trigger a bit more predictable. But the thing with the striker fire pistols that I've dry fired in, specifically the Glock that I've shot, is it's just finding the point at which the action breaks. Like finding that breaking point on the pistol is very random, and I guess it's only something you can really predict after hundreds of rounds shooting it. But shooting it at first, really like along the trigger pull, trying to figure out when it'll actually fire is very random. Like it's just almost linear. At one point, it just clicks it, and then it shoots. It's there's no wall to jump over, so to speak, with that. So it's interesting. I mean, I like it. I mean, it's a decent kind of upper mid tier striker fire pistol. Okay. But I really want to get a 1911 because I have dry fired a few. I haven't tried a 1911 yet, but I have dry fired a few of them, and the way that the trigger, I do like the very distinct click.
I mean, within the context of Airsoft, the Glock's just, I don't like the angle of the ergonomics. It's just not comfortable to hold. When I have my 1911, it's just it feels so natural, holding the thing. I mean, I've been using it for a while, but it's not at a weird angle. My hand, it's pretty much gonna conform, generally speaking, to
I guess that's the best thing about Airsoft or real guns in general is everyone has a preference, and you go for what you like.
That's why I just need to go to the range one day and just rent 80 guns.
That would probably get you arrested.
That's
every gun.
Every gun ever.
I need to know everything. Yeah, I mean, it felt kind of weird. I almost wanted today when I was in the library. So today in the library I found the government publication section is very cool, and I found a book about it's from the 80s, but it's in the Encyclopedia of the United States Army Technology for explosives and large caliber rounds. And I'm reading this stuff, and it's really cool. It's engineering. Even Jesse said I was a nerd because I sent her pictures of this stuff that I thought was cool. And I almost wanted to go up to the guy that runs that place and be like, "Do you have more stuff like this? More books about the explosives used by the military and how to it's literally engineering, the thought process on the chemicals to use for explosives and stuff like that.
That's it's the same thing where I was telling you last night over chat about what people probably think of me and my roommate. Doesn't need to be repeated, but
I definitely was maybe I shouldn't ask about more books regarding explosives and stuff like that.
We're not on a watch list already.
Yeah, right.
But all right, let's get into today's topic for a little bit. So,
ask me that.
So where do you want to start? Do you want to start with trends in the way people play, game types, trends in the way people are acting, the trends in gun design?
So I guess the fashion is first, because Airsoft is a fashion, so let's talk about trends in fashion. Yeah, you have to look cool. Tactical. So the flannel is definitely a trend. It was more popular a few years ago, then it kind of died off. But now that tactical flannel is up there, I see it just skyrocketing.
At that price point, though.
$100.
That's the thing. I'm gonna make one. I already have a flannel. I have a flannel I've been wearing for years. I'm just gonna cut the arms off and just get my own.
Someone that's gonna spend that money is gonna wear the Cry Precision stuff.
But the Cry Precision doesn't make flannels.
Right. My point is someone that's like, oh, I'm going to spend several $100s on my loadout is probably going to go for a realistic looking loadout, minus like maybe you.
Well, no, airsofters. We're talking about airsofters, okay? I predict that the next Autumn Justice, or Spring Offensive, you're going to see a lot
I
of
have pajama pants.
Okay, that was a mistake. I have apologized for that.
Oh yeah.
Alright, don't wear pajama pants to Milsim games. Especially if you have any plans of staying in the community and possibly getting a status position in the community. Yeah, my bad.
Wait until you have that status, and then you can pretty much do anything. And we were like,
I mean, Vinny ran around in his underwear for a game.
Yeah, it helps out Vinny. But I feel like that's not as obnoxious as the teddy bear pajama pants. But yeah, anyways. And so the flannel would definitely be cool. You know what I've always thought is cool, and I would love to see an uptick, is if they did, if we saw more Hawaiian shirts in Airsoft.
I've always said we should, if there's a game that you can wear civilian wear, we should just all go wearing Hawaiian shirts.
I love playing in Hawaiian shirts.
That's be funny.
well, the good that's like any all green team pretty much. You can wear anything as long as it's not tan or brown. Like you're like,
yeah,
okay, I guess it looks like we're wearing pajamas to the game. I guess. Hawaiian shirts, I'd wear that all. I'd wear flannels to every game. I want to be I want to do that stuff.
So actually, yeah. Speaking of tan and green, for a while the big trend there was tan camouflage. So that seems to be shifting. What do you think?
What do you mean, like?
Like it seems like everybody getting into it or has been into it wanted to build a tan kit.
I mean, I started off with a tan kit.
Right. I built a tan kit too. Like I said, that was definitely the trend. Though it seems like that's shifting is my point. Now, what do you think?
So I don't see much of a preference on the team color, but what I have seen, and I fully support it because it's awesome, are...
Well, more gear color than team color.
Gear color? Oh, gear color? I see a mix of everything, but I still think that tan is...
Tan, I think
tan's still the predominant. Like, that's like... everybody you'll see, you're like, how many dudes that are on like a tan team are like, oh, that's weird, you're running like, green kit or something, but you go see like tan looks fresh against M81. Coyote Brown and M81, you're just like, multicam, it's all tasty. So I don't know. I see more people will go with either the tan or black.
Yeah, I mean, especially here.
Or correct.
Tan's really good. Tan just kind of
that because it's fine.
Tan kind of goes with just anything, and black too. You could just be like, black will just work. So.
Heck yeah! But what I was getting into though is one other trend that I've seen, and like I said, I fully support, are the influx in teams wearing foreign camos. Foreign camos are in. The OSCAM, the M90.
The only reason you say that is because your team wears foreign camo.
No. You see that? You see a lot. You see a lot of
I want to get
You see a lot of
some dudes started wearing the. Seen some dudes rock that Troppentarn, the tan Flecktarn.
Troppentarn, Flecktarn.
Pretty mint.
Yes.
It's pretty fresh.
I love it. I love my European camos.
Dude, I want to get
the off-frame.
I want to get that. I want to get me some AOR2, bro.
Yeah.
I want to get me AOR2. It looks so mint.
AOR2 is a fantastic.
AOR2. I started playing like Ghost Recon Wildlands, so I can do anything. So it's like AOR2. I'm like,
I just really love European camo. I just want all of it in every
I want to do Russian
era.
I want more Russian
country.
Camos.
Russian camo
works,
is cool, but European camo is better.
You're so weird.
Like Swedish camo,
Russia is
Polish camo.
You really were talking about Australian camo a moment ago.
I know. But you
Austrian
okay,
wait. Where's Australia? Let's see if he gets this one right.
Oh my God, Australia it's in the. I mean, it's in the. I'm trying to find a way to properly describe. Obviously, it's a freaking island in the Southern Pacific, but it's like, or is it not in the Pacific?
It's a goddamn continent.
Well, yeah,
it's not an island.
Is it technically a continent? I didn't know that. I forgot that. I forgot that.
It's the one country that is also a continent.
Oh, fun fact. Well, the more you know. Anyways.
Maybe you should just take geography.
Right.
Do it again. If you did, do it again. You dingus.
I haven't been taking geography since like the 5th grade.
I would have never guessed.
Are you smarter than a 5th grader?
Are you smarter than James Dambeck? That's the next show that we're gonna have coming to you live.
Depends on the categories. What categories would I do well in? That's a good question.
Shit no one cares about.
Hey, that's a good one. Let's see. What would I do bad in? Everything else.
But anyways,
something like that. But
I kind of like the people that do more of the. I like interesting camos. If you rock like a different camo, like that's cool. You're trying to stand out. You're doing your own thing. You're not. Well, not that there's a problem with like being like, yeah, I rock multicam. It's what you like and it works, you know.
I was actually going to say on that note, what seems to be popular lately is a lot of impression kits. I've been seeing a lot of that.
Yeah.
Everything from like.
I see a lot of
American
World War II stuff. Like yeah, like.
I mean, like specific impression kits, or like.
I mean, everybody's got to do. I think the seal GMR impression kits. I've seen, like, I don't know. I feel like in the past few events that I've been to, I've seen, like, just there's always like a GMR support group there, or people that are just like when we went to when I went to Dorigo, there were like a bunch of different. There were like 2 or 3 different. I was just like, these dudes are all just carbon copies. Like they're doing that thing. I mean, you do you. That's fine. It works.
I mean, to be fair, when a squad like legitimately matches,
that's cool. Like no matter what,
you gotta be careful. Sometimes camos don't match up. Like with us when we first, when some of the newer players first joined, some of them had digi. They had different AOR ones. So like we were just a bunch of like 10 different Desert Digi AOR one combos. So I was like, guys, you look like a bunch of effing scrubs here, okay? Let's get it together.
It is funny though, because you show up to a game and you see a squad and they match perfectly. They could be the worst players ever, but it's like when you see the clan tags in a video game, you're like, oh crap,
like,
they're gonna
you're like, they kind of sort of have their ish together. I very much do.
Yeah, not Battlefield. They usually suck.
Yeah,
I usually tear through them.
Yeah, War Thunder, you get.
I think there's been. I mean, I don't know. A lot of the YouTubers I follow seem to do more like marine kits. Like people want to do like the Marsoc thing, which I think is really interesting. Yeah. I mean, it's simple because it's just like M81 and Coyote Brown gear.
I do think it's cool when you see like 2001 SEAL kits, like specifically from that year. Even their gun is built
like they
only using attachments that they.
It's really
I do respect that.
That's cool.
Impression kits have their own
$300 on like replica radios.
Dang, that's okay. That's
where they have like bow fang into.
Respect to them, I would.
Yeah. Well. Like they have like the shell of a real one, but they gut it out and put the internals of the bow fang in there. That worth $300 because it's like the shell.
I just print a shell or something.
Exactly, yeah. But it's all about the authenticity, bro.
Yeah, I mean it's cool. You know, impressions have their own little place in Airsoft. I mean, it's all just like
it's what it really.
It's kind of what it all is for all of us. Is we're trying to not impression kits dedicated, but we're trying to give an impression with our kits of what we have.
My kits are 100. I mean, you know, they're 100% function, 0% form. Like,
exactly.
Like my gun. Don't get me wrong. When it comes to my gun, it's about does this look cool? I've gotten all the function I can get out of it. So now it's like, all right, I kind of make it look good. But when it comes to what I'm wearing, it's 100%. Like, will this slow me down?
Yeah, exactly.
Will this speed me up?
That's exactly the logic behind my kit. Like, I mean, my kit is purely organic. Like, I've never taken ideas from something. Like, I've taken like small ideas, like placement of sling. But I've had like 80 different ways I've run my sling before, and I still change it up.
Right.
Every pouch and the position of it has been moved around like 2 squares, 1 square. And it's just
to be fair, the one function thing I won't do, because of how it looks, is wear a helmet. Because I look like I just rolled off the short bus.
Helmet's cool.
Okay, but you know how I look at helmet.
Yeah.
I look like I just rolled off the short bus. I have a very long...
masterminded.
I have a very tall, skinny head, so it's just like...
The more that I've started...
It's like Hartman in the Special Olympics.
The further along I got, I've narrowed my kit down so much, like, I have just this tiny-ass chest rig with like, it's got like 1, 2, 3, 4. It's got 6 mag pouches. There's a spot for like a radio or utility pouch. But it's like super low profile. I don't really need anything. At Dorigo, that's all I ran. That plus a backpack. I had some extra batteries. I had like 2 extra batteries. I had a radio. and then I had all of my mags, and then on a pouch on the side I had
What are you
R2Bs.
looking up?
A dumb pouch.
What the F
But,
are
like-
you looking up? I just looked over his
Low
computer,
profile.
and he has a picture of Barney and kids on his computer.
Why?
It raises some questions.
But either way,
I'll send you a link. So
it's just cutting it
I'm
down.
not putting
like-
this on the stream.
You absolutely should.
Like, that's what I kept trying to do. Like, initially for that event, I was going to run sauce, so I had the chest rig. But then I wanted to swap over to my, because there was a lot of close quarters to my plate carrier, but
There you go.
it's just so easy to just run around in my chest rig. It's just so lightweight. It's really low profile. It carries everything I need and nothing I don't. And then I just toss on my backpack, zip it down, and I got snacks and water in there, and I'm good. And that's it.
It's all about the SpaghettiOs, though. That's the most important part. Oh, is this the part where you're gonna fill up my storage
Why would I
with
do that?
everything?
How would
Well, you know what the best part is, though, Des. You know what the best part
Because it
is?
stores them together.
No, well, the fact that I just put a 128 gigabyte mini
saw
SD
that.
card in there.
I saw that it said that. That's quite nice, isn't it?
That is nice.
That's
Yeah, I
pretty
wonder how many pictures you can take before my phone explodes.
Probably a few.
Probably a few. Yeah, I mean, I guess you can. Is it still going?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, you don't have to hold down the camera button? Wow, this is fantastic. I can't wait till my phone explodes.
Yeah, right?
Oh,
Yeah, you
yeah,
don't have to hold
okay.
down the camera button when you're recording a video in 4K.
Can I
Can I have a
pop that?
Can I do me?
You guys. Yeah, no, I mean, you see a lot of these great trends in airsoft, and it is cool though. Like, I mean, it's always cool like we said, like when you see teams that are like doing their own thing.
Yeah.
Probably the best trend I've seen is just like more night vision.
Of course.
A lot of night vision.
course.
And night vision. Is
No, except, okay, wait.
Yes.
Tell me about your newest night vision purchase, James. Talking about how your kit is totally organic and not at all about looks.
Well, I have come across a pair of PBS 15s.
Completely plastic.
That are completely plastic and see-through, and there's no image intensifier tubes. And they were a hefty fine or price of about like $40. And they look like real PBS 15s though on my head. So
They do, especially when one of them's missing the lens to cover them up. It looks really fantastic.
yeah,
Really great.
It's just become like trash on James'
Just
stream.
But it's all good though because they look real and they intimidate people and they're like, damn, like this kid's wearing Daynons right now, like PBS 15s, like it's all about looks. Airsoft is about how you
Literally, we were just talking. You're like, my kit's totally organic. I don't care
Yeah.
about looks. And you're
Well,
like, it's all about looks.
But okay, PBS 15s. Come on, guy.
I don't get it. I don't get it. But I'm glad that people have started to have are moving towards doing different impression kits. Like, I think it's cool that not
Cool.
everybody's like,
It's cool,
I
man.
need to do a Navy SEAL kit, and that's it. SEALs are the best. Like, you start to see
Oh, yeah.
Russian. Like, I saw a German KSK loadout, and that got me. I was like, okay, sorry, give me a sec. Them high cut Mitches, it was pretty mint.
Wait, did it take till now for Samsung to send you your thing?
Yes. Well, it's been a minute for a few weeks. I just finally went
I
back.
think more people should do more of
Oh
that.
shit.
I like the interesting, and I think that kind of spawned from a whole. I think Milsim West probably really brought that forward because then if you want to run a specific camo, you have to have a full squad you have to have 9 guys or whatever. So you could run AO if you're not running multicam or whatever, you could run AOR1, but you need 9 guys to do it at least. So I think that's really brought more impression kits so that people don't want to all be multicam. They're like, I want to do a Grom loadout or the Spanish Army or KS or whatever or Russian loadout. So I think that's pretty cool. I think it was probably just because Milsim West really brought that out. Everybody was like, I want to do something different so to make it stand out. So
Yeah. So speaking of impression kits, what have you seen lately, especially you guys who've been the salesmen of late, what have you seen lately as the popular both gun types and maybe specific guns? Okay, so it's
M4s forever.
always M4s. Something about Rhode Island too. You go up to Masson's a lot more, people running AKs. Something about Rhode Island, everyone runs M4.
Because they're
I don't
legal
get
here,
that.
you can
I don't
own
know.
an M4.
Because what?
Because it's legal to own an M4 here that's not just been commied out. Like,
commied out?
yeah.
What's that even mean?
I don't know.
That literally doesn't.
Define commied out.
I don't know. Like, it's all like not legal or whatever. But when you go to Massachusetts, where the sale of AR-15s is now banned, you go to Connecticut, where it's like 100.
So would
I don't know if that's what it's about.
Wouldn't you think people would be more likely to run airsoft M4s if they couldn't have a real one?
Yeah, dude. That's
No, it's kind of what you shoot, bro.
So I doubt these people have AKs either.
Well, the thing is, like, AKs are so weird because you can get away with so much stuff on an AK that you wouldn't get away with a normal M4 because that's all they care about. Like, oh, M4s.
So then everyone in real life should just own AKs.
Yeah, for real though. AKs are a really cool system. I want to buy one. I really want to get an AK. I want to do an SKS though. I'll do that first. I want to do something 7.62.
I don't know, like M4s are definitely always.
Yeah, M4s are always popular. So let's say other than M4s.
G36Cs.
Yeah.
Any H and K.
I feel like the G36 is the closest thing to an M4 that's not an M4.
Pretty much, yeah. G36 is I mean, here especially.
Shotguns.
We have a hard time stocking up. Well, that's
actually no, that's a fair point though. Lately
especially
have gotten a lot more popular.
Yeah, especially with the advent of the Jag scattergun. It's a lot more accessible to get like a nicer shotgun. But even then, like people always come and buy. Just about everybody that's ever played Airsoft has owned or currently owns just a Springer shotgun that they just keep for those rainy days.
Yeah, clink around with, have some fun. Speaking of which, if you're coming toward Zombie Night, you'll need to have a spring weapon of some sort, whether it be a spring pistol or spring shotgun.
Crazy.
So,
Crazy.
not a spring sniper rifle. That's
Crazy.
So, what about pump action that look at Jag scattergun? Would that count?
Is it powered by spring?
No, but
Then
not the same.
Then I wonder, did I say single action or did I say spring?
Did you say gas-powered shotguns or pistols?
Well, I was thinking like it's not semi-automatic. I thought you were just trying to get away from that semi-automatic
No,
nature of
because
it.
of the issue that the scattergun still shoots like 8 rounds.
Okay. Okay, no, that's fine. I feel like that was a valid question though, right? No?
No.
Something that'll take effort, that'll be difficult to...
Alright then, Des. Fine, I guess you win that one. But even still,
Also,
that should be a fun night. But yeah, no, I have seen a lot of shotguns.
Yeah, no, that's very true.
People have also been really digging
on
on MP5s, which I like. I like the MP5. Like when you show them the Boomerangs one, they're just like, wow, this is amazing. I mean, for like $300, like that's a pretty fresh.
So actually, speaking of Boomerangs, so on the topic of M4s, would have been for a while like Crytacs were the ones to have. No, I think they've kind of fallen off by the wayside a bit.
Oh, I wonder why.
People still, I mean, we'll have an occasional person come in
for you
and buy it.
James.
What? What?
Anyways.
What? This will not. Can YouTube detect this?
Yes.
Oh, it can? No way.
Yes.
That's cool.
100%.
Awesome.
Such a pain in the ass.
Awesome. Good stuff. But continue, please. Sorry.
So as you were saying.
Oh, M4s, right.
Yes.
So every so often you'll have somebody come in asking about Crytacs. They're still kind of sort of relevant. I mean, not getting me wrong, Crytacs are awesome. I still have mine, love mine. But if I was going to go buy one now, it'd have to be an Avalon. I mean, we sell those things like, they're hotcakes. They fly out the door. And any customer that buys them, they're just really... I mean, especially when they first came out, like boom, 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 we sold out of them so quickly because the smaller stores had them. We were the first ones on the East Coast to be like, hey, we have them here, come get them. And it's just they're just really just for what you're paying for. It's pretty much the best bang for your buck that you can get. You know, like there are a lot of other high-end guns that you could have. Like you could spend the same amount on like a nice KWA ERG.
Right.
Or any KWA or a high-end like G&G gun, like one of the pro-line ones, but you just can't beat all that you kind of get. So,
right.
So they're just easy to sell. People are just like, ooh, I like the look of it. You have options in lengths, colors, and rail types, which that gets like a decent spread of catching everybody's interest in some way. They're like, oh, I don't like it at that length, so they're like, ooh.
Speaking of which, you know what there needs to be no more of? Or there needs to be more of? It used to be a thing, and now it's not, is OD.
OD guns?
I have a gun that's mostly built around OD, and I want to find more accessories for it, and they're all effing gone.
Yeah,
I feel like gray is even more popular than OD at this point.
Yeah,
which
Gray's
is kind of why I want
actually
OD.
caught on.
Because you have to admit, it looks good. Like the
Yeah,
way I have
it
it set
does.
up,
I do
it looks
like
super
your-
clean.
OD stuff,
I
when
do
you
like
black and
your
OD.
rifle.
Black and OD.
Yeah,
Looks fresh.
it's subdued, but still got that contrast. But literally, when you agree, like everything OD just disappeared.
It did, yeah.
It did, yeah.
And I don't know why. Like that's like a negative trend right now. Just no one wants OD, and I don't know why.
OD's cool, yeah. I have no quarrel with OD.
Right.
I have no quarrel with the OD.
Like, it just must not sell for some reason or another. But
Yeah.
I get to be fair, I feel like you can have one or two tan accessories on a gun and it looks good. But I feel like if you're gonna do an OD build, like
It has to be
it has to
OD.
be like
Yeah, just because the contrast from black and OD maybe isn't just as...
it kind of looks mismatched. Like tan and black are so different, it looks like a highlight. OD
Yeah.
is so close, it's like you have to have like the grip, the stock, the mag, the
Yeah, you
the
kinda have to
foregrip.
have
Like,
the
you
whole
kind of
thing.
have to have the
Yeah.
gamut to really make it work. I'm not reeling that up.
Come on, bring it up.
So
Wait, just look at this.
I wasn't kidding when I said he had a picture of Barney up.
Why?
Yeah.
What
right?
is? Oh, that's not even.
It's funny.
That's
It's not even relevant.
he had a picture of naked Barney up.
It's not naked. Barney's always naked. What are you talking
It
about?
is naked though.
Well, I guess that's... Well, he's not naked because he has skin or fur or his suit. You know what I'm saying though, right?
No.
Like I could take off my pants, but I wouldn't be naked because I have a layer of skin on.
Pretty sure.
I don't know if that's how. Okay.
I don't think that's how it works, but okay.
Sure, no, that's plenty how it works.
Wow.
I'm wearing my skin.
So moving on.
I feel comfortable in my own skin, finally.
So moving on.
Laugh at my jokes!
What has? Oh, actually, this is a good one. I've noticed it seems lately people have kind of stopped going for upgrades. It seems lately everyone's just, I'll just buy a new gun.
Yeah,
for a
because new
while-
ones have gotten so good.
Yeah, I was gonna say for a while it seemed like everyone was upgrading their gun, barrel. Like every time they buy a gun, 2 weeks later they'd be like, all right, new hop up and barrel, or,
Yeah,
or
that's
oh, I
what-
want to make it shoot faster,
that's
a new
right.
motor. And then lately it seems like it's like they buy a gun and they wait until they buy their next gun.
Yeah,
Like,
for the most part, a lot of people, because the level of performance they make, maybe it's like their GMG, even if it's their SRL, it's a little bit nicer, they're still like, well, I want all of these things. There are all these things that they want done, They want to have all of the nicest stuff in it, and you're just like, that adds up. Like, you might like the gun, but you're just trying to justify that mentally. A lot of these people are just like, it's a lot of money to dump into it. I don't know how attached I am to like this model of gun. Like, they're like, by that point, I'm like 2/3 of the way to buying a new gun. So if I can just buy a gun that has everything that I want.
So, yeah, on that note, I wonder if part of it is that upgrades have gotten much higher quality,
That
but they've gotten more expensive. For example, the gate MOSFET.
Yeah, if you
like
want
it's
the
kind of like
nicest-
people used to be like, oh, I'm going to put a MOSFET in. It's $40.
Yeah.
Well, now it's like if you're going to put a MOSFET in, you might as well put the MOSFET
Exactly.
in. But
And
now
if
that's
you're gonna put it-
$115.
Right. And then if you want to put in a motor,
Like-
you want the motor.
Right. So you're like, oh, I'm going to
70,
upgrade the motor. It used to be $35, $40. Now you should put the motor in, an Infinity motor, which is like $65.
Yeah.
Like, it's so much better. It's dumb to not put it in.
Exactly.
But on the same token, it's like, I
for
wonder
like $20.
if it used to be for like $120, you could upgrade most stuff in your gearbox.
Yeah.
Now that gets you the MOSFET. And I wonder if that's part of it, is that upgrades have gotten way better,
Yeah.
but also way more expensive.
Yeah.
It's
Which is why it's also like, and that kind of goes along, like, as upgrades get better, now you have, like, the quality of pro-line guns has gone up, like it's crazy, like,
right.
way back in the day, your pro-line option was like, you could spend $500 on a Tokyo Marui
Well, let's
or,
put
like,
this-
Classic Army or something, and now, like,
Well, let's put it this way, like, a GMG Top Tech from a couple years ago doesn't even compare to an Avalon nowadays.
and they're very just about the same price point. Like,
Yeah.
like the innovations that companies have been coming out with, like, and if you're not like on this train of getting these like things, like you fall off real quick. Like,
Yeah.
there's
Well,
so
yeah.
many.
I'm kind of surprised and somewhat disappointed that it seems like the electronic gearbox style that's in the Amoebas and the G&G SR series, whatever it is, haven't really caught on as hard as I thought they would. I mean, I guess it's in the Evo, it's in the G&G and the Amoebas, but like, it's very limited lineup. I definitely expected it to be a little more significant.
Like, it works great in general. It works great.
They're fantastic systems, so I think part of the issue is like in the Amoeba, it's really, really great system. It never breaks. Unfortunately, the Amoebas under a lot of hard use do have the issue with the gearbox eventually breaking.
The gearbox.
And then it's a proprietary gearbox shell.
So that's a problem because then you're like, oh crap! Now we have to get an Amoeba gearbox.
Right,
and then you can't drop an Amoeba gearbox into a gun you already have.
Right, and then the G&G gearboxes have the issue because they don't get arrested again. Even their high FPS models are still only like 330.
Yeah.
So I wonder if we saw that system in now for indoor that's perfect. Both of those are great for indoor. Now I wonder if you saw that system in a VFC type gun, if you would see it take off a lot further. But VFC is always stuck to the keep it simple and
I like that.
I really like VFC's
approach.
They are always very slow to come to bring in new technologies, but their guns are they do it the old way really, really well.
Yeah, I mean, I wish they would reinforce their gearbox kind of like Crytek did right up front.
To be fair, you never really see VFC's gearboxes crack.
Yeah.
They use a better quality metal and a forging process.
In general,
Okay.
Crytek uses the same forging process, and they reinforce their gearbox. So
which I think is cool. I think more companies should
Well, so the issue with Crytek is you can't throw a different gear train into it because they reinforce the gearbox shell so much. The Stefano ran into this issue is you have to grind away like 60% of the gearbox if you want.
So most people are just like buying a gearbox shell. That's what I said. He had a KWA gearbox shell that he had.
I've had to do that to a couple Cryteks. You literally sit there with a Dremel for like 2 hours, grinding away the inside of the gearbox. You could fit a bigger spur gear in there.
Yeah.
And that's how you get the higher speed.
So people should just use higher quality. Like if the Amoeba gearbox shell was just like a much nicer quality,
or really the way Crytek reinforced your gearbox, like James was saying.
Crytek,
amazing.
Yeah, like I mean, I've been. Like I said, on the third user of my Crytek, and like
it doesn't do the holes. I've told you about the holes.
They're right in front, right?
Yeah. Have I ever told you about that?
What? How you're talking
about the front of the gearbox
for the Amoeba?
Where they crack. Well, gearboxes in general, too.
Yeah.
Where they crack right at the front of the cylinder.
Right.
You'll notice a lot of newer generation stuff. VFC's been doing it for a while. Has a little hole drilled at those corners.
Yes.
Those holes spread that point force across a bigger area, and it keeps it from cracking. With it just coming to a point, every time that cylinder slams forward, you get a spike of force right at that point that eventually causes the gearbox to fail. Literally, it's like one extra step in manufacturing, and it adds a huge amount of stuff.
Yeah.
You'll learn about that in, I think, MC4. No.
That'd be nice. You need to make sure, if you're putting out like a Pro Line level gun, like you need to make sure that you're up to snuff.
Yeah.
So I feel like a reinforced gearbox is like super important, whether it's Crytek, where it has a reinforced and has the nice quality, or just VFC that does really high quality metal. Like you got to get all of that. Like I don't know. I feel like that's a necessity now. The standards are kind of getting higher for what you want in a pro line gun. Like initially when the Brents came out, they were like, it's like a $370 price point, but it doesn't have a MOSFET.
Right.
Stuff like that. People were kind of like.
Exactly.
Well, they didn't put anything in that same price. I go buy an Avalon, has a MOSFET, uses that formats. Exactly. It's all about the.
Unfortunately, they can manufacture them for so cheap now that they'll always get the best bang for the buck.
Always.
Now, especially, I would say the Evo actually is a great bang for your buck.
The Evo as well, yes. The Evo has a lot of good.
They spent a lot of time on the manufacturing there to make sure the.
Yeah, they packed a lot of good stuff in that.
Evo.
But overall, actually, I do have to say the trend lately has been much better things like gearbox
technology.
Yeah, the technology. Even if they haven't, like I said, even like with VFC, they haven't adopted the new technology, but the manufacturing process has gotten better. They have the advantage of Umrex. Anyone Umrex works with their company has just excelled over the last couple of years because they make so much more money. Like I explained this in the past, VSC when I came to Airsoft was a really nice gun, but it was a very niche gun, limited quantities available, hard to get, and they only had like 2 or 3 offerings at a time because they were such a small company, but they really cared about what they did. Well, then Umarex came on, or they got their partnership with Umarex, and they had so many more sales. They just had this money to throw at R&D, and they came out with like a dozen guns in a year that were just from their gas blowback line, which had limited success, to be fair, but they did still innovate, and they kept with their gas blowback lines. They have AEG barrels, which is kind of nice. They're one of the only people to do that. The 3-round burst on their MP5s, their MP7 that came out, that's fantastic. Their all their
Did you say the UMP?
UMP, one of my favorites.
Yeah,
you're right.
I'm like, I didn't forget that one.
All the 416 variants, from 416, M27, 417, G28. They just have been like boom, 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 boom with all these guns because they really made out well with their partnership with Umarex, and I really like that. And speaking of trends, I really like the trend towards there being the middleman. Well, not Umarex, but there being a middleman licensing entity. Because Umarex brings that the RMAs you're sending to a U.S. address now. They're distributing from a U.S. address now. They're not coming in from Taiwan, where they're like, well, it's out of our country, not our problem anymore.
Yep. That's like the worst.
So when you call them up for customer service, you're talking to an American, and not saying like, oh, America's so much better, but like it just makes life easier to be distributed.
It keeps everything in house. I mean,
exactly.
if I was in Germany, it would be annoying if I was buying all the time from America. I'd rather deal with something German-based.
And more importantly than anything, is it used to be when a customer ran into an issue, and a bunch of customers ran into an issue, we were just that annoying voice in the corner, and we were ignored. Umarex really cares about their customers.
Yeah.
And when a gun has when a gun runs into the same problem multiple times from multiple users, they go back to the manufacturer and say, fix it. And that's awesome. And I really hope that trend continues with more middleman licensing distributors. But the nice thing is Umarex doesn't also make sure not to screw over the brick and mortar stores.
Yeah, I mean they always are pushing shop local.
Yeah.
Like that's one thing that I've noticed a lot.
They don't pull the e-bike.
Yeah, and also one cool thing about Umarex is Cliff, obviously we love you. Is that is usually when there's a new release. I mean, us as a store, we will pre-order it.
Yep.
With the Avalons, for example, we got Avalons 2 weeks before e-bike and Airsoft Reacted.
You're very good at that.
I'm expecting us to
Speaking
see
of which,
the Glocks.
Cliff should send us the Glock to see all these other people.
Exactly, and I've been meaning to message him about that.
Unless all these other people are just smart enough to realize, go find an old VFC.
Yeah, and just talk about it. That would work.
But on the same token, ASG is another great example of a company that's much smaller than Umarex, but they're doing a great job.
They are.
With licensing and being, again, another middleman entity that they deal with the customers and they deal with the manufacturers.
They've got what? Dan Weston and CZ under their belt right now.
Yeah, I mean, ASG shows us a lot of love too, so I don't want to call them out here. They're doing a great job.
I mean, oh man, are we giving love to distributors now? Like,
good examples.
Alco has been pretty good lately, actually.
Really?
Shout out to all the pair.
To all the pair?
Pairs and shit now.
All the pairs?
I'm so confused.
I'm missing the joke. Explain it to me.
Nah, it's okay.
It's later.
Well, I guess. Is it a big boy joke?
It was it was like a thing a while ago. Rick Ross was there interviewing him, and like, whatever you're doing. He's like, I eat pears and ish, and he's like, whatever, like, I eat pears and shit now. He's like, shout out to all the pear, the rapper. It was just like it's the most ridiculous thing. Like,
all right. But either way, like I was saying, just that trend towards there being a middleman distributor who both deals with manufacturers and the customers, you would think would make things more expensive, you would think would make things worse, but it's actually made things a lot better.
Yeah.
So that's happened over the last few years, and it's been getting better and better.
Trendy.
Okay, so do we want to talk about the elephant in the room of just the...
Hey, I have a name.
No, just...
Hey, I have a name. Both of our responses.
The overall trend where it seems like Airsoft has slowed down a little bit recently.
Yeah, I definitely see that. Even though we've seen a pretty large influx of new players.
It's slowed down.
In general,
for a while,
it feels like it had kind of slowed down. Like 2014, 2015. Seemed like it was really at some crazy height. Like so much was happening all the time.
It had a bit of a bubble, to be fair.
Yeah.
It was kind of cool. Like, because just so much was happening all the time. I think it's just settled out a lot. Not that it's on the downfall, but it's settled. It's settled quite a bit.
Yeah, I mean, there's a ton of a ton of things that can contribute to that. Like, I mean, when we had an issue with like groups of players that would cause issues, we saw a very dramatic fall in new players and players returning. Since that issue has been dealt with for a while now, we're actually seeing a very nice climb in that. So it's one thing to regulate what customers do when they're here, but I think it's important to kind of keep people in check with what Airsoft is. And I see that as long as you can do that, we should.
Right, so
but like in general.
Yeah.
I was gonna say.
More of the question was like in general, like Airsoft kind of blew.
I mean, we've heard about it. It's nationwide.
Yeah.
It's not.
Oh yeah,
it's
yeah,
not
yeah.
local.
Yeah.
And I was going to say, do you think that has to do with a changing how players are playing and what they're interested in, or?
Yeah, I mean, I think Airsoft, the industry, is kind of going through like its own shift right now. You definitely see a lot of like that more like game mentality where like it's a game.
Right.
And Speedsoft was absolutely birthed from that mindset.
Yes. And that's why we kind of like we have the two different styles of day that we do here. We have the Saturday and the Sunday. We play the game day differently.
Yeah, different music, different lighting, stuff like that. One's a bit more
different
like a
game
scenario.
styles.
Yeah, exactly. Some of it's running gun, the other more so like
strategy oriented.
Yeah, strategy oriented, exactly. And I don't really know if I can say exactly that that's because of Airsoft. Kind of like and once again, I mean, I look at the numbers all the time here and nationwide. I don't think Airsoft is at all on a downward trend. It's just not as steep as it was a few years. Right. And it's just interesting. You got to ask, well, why is it doing that? And I think just there's just so many different things that can contribute to that. But it's kind of gotten into more of this this niche kind of thing, Did I say it wrong again?
You did.
I said, damn it,
Shay. What's up?
It's niche, right?
Yeah.
Niche.
Yeah. It's because of the stupid apostrophe over it. My bad. Jesse's been really honing in on the way that.
No, if there was an accent, over it, then it would be niche.
Well, touche.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's an accent over that E.
Isn't there one for
touche? That's why it happens.
For
Otherwise, it would be touche. It would be niche. There's not one over niche.
No. Oh, maybe it's the I is different.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't change the end of the. Then I would either it would be niche or niche. Either way, the easier to
I swear to God, people that watch this show are like, man, this James kid is a straight dumbass.
Wow, then they know what we think.
Just to be clear, guys. Oh, wait. Oh, right, I'm on the wrong
And we'll
one.
play. Okay, fine. Is that niche? I also used to think that Nike was pronounced Nike. I used to say that a lot. Obviously, I still do.
Yeah, everybody just says Nike.
What?
It is Nike.
Well, I've been corrected on that. Oh, I just can't win.
Everyone, that's just the name of the company. Even
Just
Nike
type
calls it
niche.
Nike.
Niche.
Okay.
Niche.
Yeah, they use
Niche.
technical talent.
Niche.
Could be. Oh, I was really hoping it would just keep playing.
No.
Niche.
But yeah, I'm just gonna forever just not talk to people and just type my messages. Pronunciation is just a thing.
But like we were saying, so do you think that because a lot of the new players kind of tend to swing towards the Speedsoft style, agreed?
Yeah.
So my concern, and I think a lot of the leveling out and how many people are playing has to do with a lot of older players tend to look at the newer players and they're like, bah, it's not my play
That is
style.
a good point. Yeah, you do see a lot of saltiness and this kind of like this polarization between the two communities.
Which is not healthy for the sport. And I think people
No,
need to
it's
be
not.
people rather than saying, bah, I don't like the way you're playing, yada yada yada, they should be like, hey, try following me through the field, try playing like this, you might enjoy it more. There needs to be a lot more understanding of people coming to the hobby, because I totally get it. If I were coming to the hobby and there's a bunch of at 13, 14 years old, and there's a bunch of people my age playing a certain style compared to a bunch of older people that looked a lot scarier when you're 14, I would probably play with people my age, the way they're playing.
Yeah.
I can't blame anybody for it.
No, I can't blame them.
Also another part of players kind of like dropping off is they just start to perceive, they have this perception like that everything, suddenly Airsoft is boring for them. But like, the problem that you run into is that there's so many different ways to always constantly change your experience. Like here we try to, vary up as much as possible, but we're limited. We have this field, we can't have outdoors, we can't do something crazy, Then it falls on, you can't blame your fields are your fields. You have to, and sometimes it does get stale, the gameplay, the this, the that, but then if that's something that you can't have any sort of effect on, you need to start looking at yourself. Is there something like a speed softer will come out, like this kid I know came out and complained to me like, oh, you're not having fun. It's like, well, why don't you try doing something different?
Perfect example. I've mentioned this in the past. Is we refer to this here as the polar star effect. We see it a lot. A lot of players been playing for a while. They love the hobby. They get a polar star, and not to be a jerk, it makes it too easy.
Yeah.
And they play against younger kids, and they're like, wow, this is too easy. When I first bought the gun, I had a similar effect, and Isaiah. It's funny when Isaiah bought his. Me and Vinny were like, oh, you give it, or no, me and Jimmy were like, give it 3 months, you're gonna be bored. And he ended up selling his Polar Star, but that's exactly my point. He sold his Polar Stars. I always keep another gun, my M14 in this case, or my gas blowback GMP, as my, okay, if I come in and the crowd is, let's call it younger, less experienced, I'll grab out, I won't go out with my try-hard kit. I'll go out and give myself a specific disadvantage so I can work on different skill sets. And I have a great time. Some of the best days I've had were with running my M14 around with its slow trigger response and really long, heavy body. And it's really not an indoor gun, but I ran around with it to build other skill sets and just have a good time. The other day I used my saw upper here, just, again, because I hadn't before, and just to change things up. And so, if you ever get to the point where you're like, I don't know, I play there a lot, it always feels the same, yada yada yada. We always try and change it up, like Dan said, but we can only go so far as
what's up, Charles?
Try and change it up yourself. Try and find something new to do, or me and James have talked in the past about playing your offhand. If you're if you're right-handed,
the field.
No. If you're right, because that doesn't build a skill set.
Yes, it does.
No, if you're right-handed, play on your left shoulder. If you're wrong-handed, play on your right shoulder. Stuff like that.
Got him. But that's the thing, we're like you need to, and if you kind of feel like you're leveling out, you're like, oh man, I'm not, I'm tired of, it's so boring, like whipping on all these kids. Then why don't you step up your game? Go to an event, go to an actual Milsim event. These are players. The higher levels you get are higher functioning players.
And when you do that, it'll expose the things you need to work on.
Exactly. If you are playing against people that are worse than you are never going to improve. You're not challenging yourself. You're not pushing yourself. You're not being forced to think unless you do something to handicap yourself to make you improve.
Exactly.
But if you go to a place where players are on par with you, or even if they're even better than you, that forces you to have to think and to try harder to get on that level and outplay them, which is, I think that's super cool.
No, that's a great idea.
Yeah, GOML, bro.
Okay, yeah.
Get on my level.
I got that.
Okay,
It's
okay.
like, it's really obscure.
But yeah, and then you come back to a place like this, and like I said, handicap yourself in a way that you build that skill set. Well, as I mentioned in a few streams now, is having played with that M14 for a couple days here, I found myself playing more strategically sound at Autumn Justice because I wasn't just relying on my accuracy and trigger response to outplay other people. I was like, okay, I gotta actually.
Absolutely, yeah.
Your gun's only an extension of
pistol only rounds.
That's always fun because see, the best thing there is with pistol only rounds is when you're playing into the rifles, it looks like a win-win. So like either A, you get the kill and you're like, hell yeah, or you're like, oh, I got killed, but I'm using pistol, he's using a rifle. You know,
exactly.
It's such a win-win situation, and you have fun and feel good either way.
Yeah, and that's what it's about, And if you're not having fun in Airsoft, find a way to do it, because that's the whole point of Airsoft, is that we're supposed to be having fun and doing whatever we do.
I mean, I've been playing for almost 8 years now, almost 9 maybe, and I still have a blast every time I play because I find some way to make it new.
Yeah, I mean, I've been coming here for 5 years, and still, like, on a weekend, I'll still grab my stuff and, like, play. Like, we all play here. Even though we work here, we spend all our time here, and we know the field, it doesn't stop us from going out and having a good time.
Yeah.
We designed the field.
Yeah. See a new field layout for this upcoming event.
Can you tell us about it? I'm sure you put some work into it by now, right?
Oh yeah, there's a lot that's going to be going on with it, but I can't really discuss it.
Oh yeah. Can't or won't? Probably more can't, right?
No. Oh, I'm sorry about my wording. No, I won't.
Oh yeah, you won't.
That's what I'll say.
Out of respect to the secrecy of the operations, because it is in the employee manual that we just had to re-sign at this most recent employee meeting. That did state that any operations of Extreme Airsoft.
But aren't you discussing Operation with Extreme Airsoft right now?
Well,
Number one rule of employee rules and regulations. I'll talk about employee rules and regulations. Got him. Yikes.
Lots of great stuff regarding that.
All right.
Got him.
So before we keep talking about the trends thing, let's talk about our product spotlight this week. So, like I said, this gun's been around for a while. This is the FNX 45 by VFC, correct?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
A lot of really cool things about it. It's actually more ergonomic than you'd expect.
The cool thing, it comes with another back strap, so you can just, same thing on the FNS, is you just pull it off, slide it on, and you can get a really good grip. I think I deleted it,
I hope you deleted them.
I did a bunch of photos, and then I did...
Oops. I done messed up.
I deleted everything, so everything on there is only FNX45. So these are really cool. So it does have this thread cover on it. It's 16 millimeter. Is it positive?
I should really make an adapter for that.
Threaded? Yeah, because it's irritating to have to like find 16 mil or 14 mil adapters online.
Hell yeah.
Or have to buy one, like buy a suppressor. That's $70 like to buy one that already has a 16 mil. But it still has the aluminum upper, so the really nice polymer lower. Slide release. The sights are pretty nice.
Yeah.
I wish they were. You could put fiber optics in. Probably could. So just about everything is ambidextrous. So magazine release is on either side. Safety, either side. Slide release, either side.
It has the sight block mount.
It does have the sight. So if you've got a micro dot,
they are really.
If you have a micro dot, you can mount that on top. Cool thing is that the iron sights are actually raised. So if you put a suppressor on it, normally with most low profile pistols, you put on the suppressor, and then the suppressor will like cover up the small profile of your sights, but it raises up just like it is on the like USP 45. I think most of this is on one mag. I don't think I filled out one.
I do love VFC guns. They're so snappy.
I got 5. I ended filling up one mag completely. I got 5 total mags. I mean, it petered out at the end of the 5th mag. But you can see, like, and at that speed.
That face though.
So it's just videos like that.
Approval right there.
It does. This thing definitely gets my approval. It also has like it is a decocker, but it's also like not. Like, it works, but it also doesn't. Like, it does this weird half-cock
Well, it kind of lets you know there's still ammo in the chamber.
Yeah, which is actually really nice. The cool thing about the magazine is that, obviously, this magazine's incredibly large, so that's the base. You'll see that there's still going to be some condensation on it.
The fill area is
the fill valve. I think that's a super cool thing.
You're less likely to damage it.
Yeah, exactly. If you drop it, so you have a nice, really.
Don't drop it,
yeah, no. You have a this really just solid base plate on the bottom. So that already is a fantastic design. It's rounding, so it'll just roll and hit. But the fill valve is right below where the release is. So if you do drop it, you're not going to drop it where the fill valve is on the bottom. You break the valve, you lose the O-rings, get dirt, anything of that happening. You don't run into that problem. It's right in the back. It's super nice.
You still don't want to drop those.
You still don't want to drop them, but if you end up dropping them, then it's fine. You're not. Yeah, but it's nice because you can just charge it behind rather than having to hold it upside down. I don't know. It's kind of nice to just hold it here.
So what's interesting is to me, because obviously when you fill these magazines, they fill with a liquid.
Right.
Is it better to fill it at a bit of an angle so that like it fills up like it fills up like this, or is it better to still have it driven down? Do you test like how you get more shots?
I haven't tested that before.
Because usually it's on the bottom so that it fills up, like this.
I feel like probably on an angle would be best.
Yeah. That'd be an interesting experiment to run. Maybe we can make a video about that.
That'd be pretty cool.
Just like we should. You know what we should totally do?
What?
Like a Airsoft myth busting video.
Ooh. Wow. That'd be pretty cool.
That's gassed.
So, I mean, it has the rail on the bottom. It has a unique serial number. So this is whatever FXI57030000. I mean, these are fantastic pistols. Wyatt has one, which is actually James's old one, right?
Yep.
So I would always steal Wyatt, Pro Shop Manager. I'd steal his for an event. Like, I'd be like, man, I don't have a pistol. He's like, here you go, Chuckles, I have my pistol. And I'm like, yes! So then I just go out there and
all those 5811 runs, those.
They're really nice.
Yeah, I'd have to say for me it's close between that and the HK45.
Yeah.
Like, I do like the feel of the VFC pistol is hard to beat.
It is, but the HK45 is definitely the better option just because of the aftermarket support.
Right.
That's
right.
true.
So and that's my point. It's like, yeah, this is probably one of the better feeling pistols. That's why I like the PPQ so much. Same idea is they just VFC pistols just feel so good. They all use like the same trigger mechanism. Actually, it's
They pretty much do.
No, that one's slightly different. It's the striker fire system for VFC.
Yep.
Not the hammer, sadly.
It's close.
These things are fresh.
They're trash or fresh?
Fresh.
I thought you said trash. I'm like, geez, good thing we're giving it the spotlight.
No, these things are awesome. I mean, if I had some money, I'd rock one.
As much as I love the safety there, I have this bad habit of accidentally putting them in safety.
Yeah.
I did that with the HK45.
The 1911 is the worst for that, though.
Yeah, the 1911 tacks were super easy. Like the A1, because it's kind of low profile, it's really difficult to hit it up. But if you have the tactical, you even just wrapping my hand around it, I put the safety on. But overall, I mean, you get like a 20-something round mag. It's green gas. It's incredibly gas efficient.
Yeah.
For what you're paying for, you get a really high quality pistol with a lot of cool, nifty little things.
I told you about my incident during Autumn Justice where I put the safety on, right? I had like 6 guys walking up on me, and they were no further than like me to that side of the room, and they were all around me, and so I couldn't. They were too close for me to use my rifle. So I took my pistol out. I took out one of them, but obviously at that point they knew where I was. Mind you, that's after I just blew like so much gas out of the magazine. It's still shooting. So, and I was conscious on that first guy to make sure it wasn't a safety, but on the second guy, my heart, like, I didn't think about it. And a guy got this close to me and you. Like, he was this far away. I stood up and went, and the hammer fell, it didn't shoot, and I was like,
oh no.
And then I got totally blasted.
Whenever I do stuff like that, I'm just like, I'm out. Yeah,
you just call yourself out.
The funny thing is, I literally like stood up in front of him, pulled the trigger, went, and ducked back down, and took it out of safety and came up again. And that's when I got shot. I think I surprised him so much when I stood up in front of him that he was like, what?
If he was that close, I'd just like slap and be like, you're dead! Like, fuck.
Yeah, just pissed him.
I didn't even like know what to do. It was hilarious and great at the same time. But yeah, like I said, the FNX 45, have available here. What's the MSRP on it?
I think it's $199. Well, MSRP is...
Sorry, what's...
MAP? Well, let me tell you, baby.
I don't know. What do we sell it for?
I think I believe we sell it at $199.99, which is at MSRP.
Okay.
MAP is a bit lower than that, though.
Yep. That's what I want. But all right. Back to trends for the last 15 minutes or so.
Yeah.
So let's talk about. Do you want to talk about attitudes?
Yeah, I'm down for that.
Attitude trends.
Fix you too, dude.
We were kind of already talking about it a little bit with the whole.
What?
I said fix you too, dude.
Oh, I wasn't sure what you said. I thought you said 62, dude. I was like, what does that mean?
Well, okay. Lately, what's your opinion other than it's dumb? Is the whole thing lately where it seems that it's become popular for people to put videos on YouTube of them cheating?
It's dumb.
I said other than that.
Wait, to put videos up on YouTube?
I think it's honestly, I think it's hilarious.
Wait, sorry.
I think it's hilarious that people
Really?
are that stupid.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, putting up videos?
Yeah, it's like, look at me breaking the rules.
Yeah, that's
say,
dumb.
oh, look, here's
Why
me.
do people do that?
I think it's hilarious.
Like, if you put it out publicly, and we can see that. And then we could just be like, well...
More so, I meant, why do you think that's become a thing?
Yeah, cheaters have become like, or catching cheaters in the act and punishing them. That's become. I've seen so many videos. That's
become like an issue in its own self. Is like overshooting someone because you think they're cheating.
Yeah,
and that's not a solution.
Like I've seen some horrible I was kind of like, oh, let's see how this video goes. And some people they have a horrible way and they have a horrible mentality and attitude towards dealing with cheaters. There's not even a remote sense of benefit of the doubt that maybe they can't feel something or something's going wrong. Or
yeah,
they're not feeling them.
0 to 100.
They're instantly.
No, it's not me. It's not
players are instantly like, there's nothing that I am doing wrong. I am right.
I have dead-on accuracy.
My accuracy, my sights are zeroed. I have this. My flashlight is telling me everything. And it's like, people need to take a step back. This is super important. You need to take a step back. It's like, why is that person not calling their hits? Am I hitting them? Is my sight zeroed? My flashlight's only good for
power when I hit them at range.
Exactly. If you're shooting them at range, you're going to have to assume that your BB is going to drop off a lot of power. So what do you do if that's a problem? You have to get the enemy player in a position where they have to call their hits. And by that I don't mean go up to them and shoot them 30 times just to get them to call their hit. It's like, you got to close the gap, you got to make shots, shoot them in the fleshy bits.
Exactly. Like, aim for the squishy parts.
Yeah, like if you can hit them, if you're hitting their plate carrier, aim
if you
off
can
to the side, hit him in the side,
at that point,
hit him in the arm, hit him in the neck.
It's funny, how many times during Autumn Justice do we run some guys calling hit, and usually our response was, that guy's not calling it. Whatever, let's go find someone else to shoot.
That happens all the time. It's
not you're not always right. You have to take a step back and be like, what am I doing? You have to evaluate the situation. What am I doing wrong that this guy's not calling his hits? Any of the factors that we kind of talked about, that's the thing. And then dealing with cheaters, you don't really have to, obviously there are always going to be just some jerk out there that's going to be just a sourpuss about it, but know you have the moral high ground. But, dealing with that, there's so many better ways to deal with it rather than going up and screaming at somebody or just shooting them at point blank for no reason or full autoing them in a non-full auto game. Go up to them and be like, hey dude, I just want to let you know I've been shooting at you. I don't know whatever the problem is. Blah blah blah. This and this. And if you continue having a problem with a player, go talk to a referee. Because if you don't talk to a referee, like that happens here. Players will come in the store and be like,
if you don't talk to
this
a
is happening.
referee, then keep your mouth shut.
Yeah, like people will come in the store and complain about something on the field, and I'm like, well, what am I supposed to do? Like, I'm not on the field. I can't catch any of this stuff. I can't testify to whether or not this is happening. Worst case scenario is if you have a problem with the player, you go tell a referee. The referee should be sitting on that player or dealing with that player, and things don't need to get hostile. You don't need to scream. You don't need to fight. You don't need to argue. Don't need to do anything. You just need to have a nice civil conversation. And if the person gets hostile, then just back off, grab a ref. Ref will deal with it. But it's a lot more self-evaluation that you need. But I don't know. It's just a weird trend.
One thing I've noticed is people that have issues are usually the veterans. I've seen. You think like the new guys would be the ones that would be blowing up, but no, it's the guys that have been doing this for a long time.
The ones that should be, it's players in general, players that have been doing it. You should, if you've been playing for any amount of time, you should understand the importance of setting an example. I mean, it's an honor-based sport, so you have to be respectful of other people, because if not, then you're just ruining everything.
Yeah.
I don't know, I just don't get that. That was always confusing to me. Like, kids are like, wow, look, I caught this cheater. Look at this.
Well,
wow, look at my video.
So a lot of stuff escalates is the issue. So I think the best thing I want to say is if you run into someone with a bad attitude, kill them with kindness kind of thing, because most of the time that'll alleviate the issue.
Because then at the end of the day, if something happens, all you can say is, hey, I was nice to the guy. It's something like, okay, so this isn't related to Airsoft completely, but like my mom had to deal one day with a super angry customer, and the customer was really angry, and my mom was just super nice about it. But she was like, she was just nothing but have a nice day, and then she wanted to talk to the manager because he or she was going to complain to her about my mom being too nice to the customer, and she was like, "Is that going to
me?
What?
Just be like, okay, yeah, I'll be right back."
In the end of the situation,
tell him exactly what you just said to me.
Yeah. In the end, if you are respectful, if you are kind, you kill them with kindness, you are going to have the moral high ground. And if people see that, then you're going to be like, well, the other dudes, they're going to take your side. They're like, that other dude's just a jerk. But then if it's a serious problem, if multiple players are having a problem, confront them in powers and numbers, homies.
Yeah, what's up?
No, I'm just thinking about that situation.
It's dumb. That person was so mad.
I can see that turning into an SNL skit where she's like, "You are being too nice to me," and he pulls out for the manager, and the manager comes out. She gives a complaint like that employee is just being too nice to me. And then I look at the employee, and then and you go like, "What did I say to you about being nice to customers?" Look at the customer and go, "Go fuck yourself." Turn around.
We have avoided swear.
No, we didn't. We've been swearing.
I've been saying ish.
We said shit.
I've been censoring myself real
No,
loud.
you did.
No.
No. I've been saying
wrong.
effing instead of.
I haven't sworn once. I've been saying ish and this.
You've been swearing. The rest
No,
of
it
us have
haven't.
been good.
But wouldn't that be a funny skit?
We didn't just straight out yell F.
Yeah. I was trying to figure out a way to censor it, but no, it would be funnier if I said it. Wouldn't that be funny though?
No.
Just to be like, turn to the guest and be like, you know what? No, get out. I don't want to deal with you. That's what you want, right?
Yeah. So in the end, if you're kind, if you're respectful, that's what you need to be.
Yeah.
Just be nice to people.
Write comedy.
I do not.
James,
I do
you
not
are
agree.
comedy.
Exactly.
We laugh at you, not with you.
Exactly. No, you guys laugh with me.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
funny.
Okay.
I can't even.
So the last 5 minutes, we gotta do our closing arguments.
All right.
So I'm in the bathroom quick while you guys do that though. But remember to announce next week is our randomness week, episode 40.
Woo!
Yes.
So if you guys have anything you want to talk about, tell us in the comments or leave it under suggestion box this weekend.
Just gonna be Des and I nerding out. We're definitely just gonna bring up something nerdy.
Maybe we'll play War Thunder.
Yeah. We should play video games.
That'd be cool to do a stream like that. That'd be pretty fun.
We might actually be hosting a stream here at Extreme next time. Next time we're here late. we might do a gaming stream, and we'll play a few different games, and we'll link up like our groups or whatever,
That'd be
and like our squads, and then
rad.
people can play with us, customers can play with us. So that might be pretty cool. Stay tuned for that, I guess. But for upcoming events, we have tons of fun stuff coming through the pipeline for you guys. Like we talked about earlier, we got Transylvanian Terror coming up on the 29th.
Yo, it's gonna be sick. We've already been having the pre-registrations come in, so pre-register, you save $5. Lunch is included for the day. You get to reserve your team. Isaiah is going to be leading the DC Heroes and Villains, and I'm going to be Dracula, and I'm going to be leading my army of horror villains. So make sure you guys come dressed up in costumes. We're going to have a small raffle. We're going to have a costume contest. And remember, some of the games that we're going to be making, we are tailoring to some of the characters. So if you show up with some of these characters that you see on the flyer, you might have a whole game mode based around you. So that's pretty cool that you get to be able to do something like that. I mean, Isaiah is working on he's spent all day working on some pretty neat like props and other items to use for the event. So it looks pretty cool and it's very promising. So it's very exciting. So you guys should definitely be there. We're putting work into it. Be a zombie game, balloons and stuff. It's going to be fun.
Actually, we should we should consider doing zombie stuff the way we're going to do it for the zombie night.
So that we don't have to.
Because the balloons don't always work. So what we're doing for zombie night is you put these rags sticking out of either pocket, and the way a zombie takes you out is if they take a rag, and then the zombies just have to call their hits like it's Airsoft.
Huh.
That would be funny.
It worked actually really nicely when we did it in 2014. That's what we'll be doing for the zombie night next Thursday. That's pretty cool. So yeah, it's just 2 red rags. If they both get pulled, you're dead.
Dang, that's pretty fresh. That's a cool idea.
So it's an option.
We'll have
We'll have to consider. But speaking of which, I don't know if you already talked about the zombie night next Thursday.
I have not, no. I just
No, so like I said, this will be we'll be throwing up a flyer. If not tonight, then definitely tomorrow. Probably tomorrow. We have to confirm the date and time. It'll probably be November 2nd, 4 to 9. And it'll be 3 hours of survival type gaming where you're a very small group of survivors, between like 4 to 8 players, depending how many people show up. And you'll have missions where you have to. Well, actually, I'll just go through the missions real quick.
Thursday night
in light details. So, like mission 1 is going to be a gather supplies mission. There'll be things around the field you have to move as a group and find while these zombies are trying to attack you. The zombie rules are going to be like when they're hit, they wait 60 seconds, they're back in play. And you'll have to find the weapons you use, from pistols to swords and stuff like that. Mission 2 is going to be like a save the survivor game. Mission 3 is going to be like a cure related game. Mission 4 is going to be an escape game using the truck and stuff like that. And then from 8 to 9, we're going to be doing like 4v4. This is why you have to bring your own shotgun and pistol. Bring your shotgun and pistol. It's going to be a 4v4 deathmatch while there are other zombies on the field. So not only do you have to survive the zombies, you're trying to take out the enemy.
That's going to be pretty fun.
That's intense.
And there'll be things like things you can capture, give you advantages, you can find more weapons, so on and so forth. So, like I said, last year we had a good number of players, like 40 people, and everybody absolutely loved it. Like, everybody said this was one of the best zombie things they've been to in Airsoft. So I'm hoping we can repeat that.
Do that again, yeah.
And yes, like I said, we'll throw details of that up either tomorrow on Facebook and hopefully the website as well. So,
yeah.
Anything else before we wrap up the stream?
Nothing I can think of. I mean, we got Pistol Shotgun Night. That was just this past weekend, and Adult Night, so that'll be month, just a little bit less than a month. So,
do we have a Thursday video this week?
Do we? We do. I'm not sure which one it was. I think I think it's going to be. I want to say it's either going to be because we have a couple of videos logged up pending. So it's either going to be a throwback review on the VFC MP5s, or it's going to be an extreme theory on accessorizing your gun. So like, what should I do?
Nice.
Do I need a sniper scope for playing indoors? The answer is no. But
I've used that. It works.
I mean,
for
you can
point.
do it.
I am.
you can do it, but it's
Got
practical.
1x sniper scope so you can see the pellets path.
That too. One
Yes, it
is.
is nice. But what was I going to say is 2 more quick things. Watch out for a new video series, hopefully coming in the next few coming weeks. If we're going to try our hardest there. It'll probably be released on Sunday nights instead of Thursdays. And it'll be kind of about taking a gun, reviewing it, playing with it stock.
You can't do that. I'm trying to like lower the hammer on it. You just can't
you
do
can't.
that.
It's like a 1911.
It works for my 1911.
And then like next week is going to be tearing it down, really taking a look at the insides. The week after that will be upgrading it, like going balls to wall will be upgrades. And then the last week we'll be playing with it, and then it'll be sold on the used wall as an Extreme Customs gun. So they'll be built either by me or Stefano or James. So it'll be built to like full professional level, and there'll be some killer guns. We're probably going to start with like a CQB M4 type gun with maybe like a $200-300 upgrade limit.
Yeah, just about that. Something, nothing crazy.
Right.
It's going to be nice.
So we're basically, the goal is we're going to take a gun that we're actually, after the first week, we're going to let you guys vote on the gun on like a straw poll on Facebook. And then we're going to let you guys pick the gun that we use. It'll have to match a theme and a price point. And then we'll upgrade it with a budget accordingly. So some weeks the budget might only be $100, other weeks it might be $500. So it'll kind of vary, and it'll be pretty fun to watch. So definitely stay tuned for that. And for anybody still watching, how would you feel about joining us on a gaming live stream for a game like War Thunder?
We brought that up when we had walked out.
Yeah. Like War Thunder or PUBG or anything.
But Battlefield 1, PUBG, or War Thunder are the games that I've been playing a lot, and I think they're like all like the real mainstream games right now as well. So I mean, if anyone wants to be interested in joining us on a squad as we live stream that, let us know, because we might be doing that sometime next month.
Yeah, if not sooner. But with that, guys, stay tuned for next week, a randomness one for the Thursday video, and thank you very much for joining this week. We will see you soon, and hopefully we'll see you this weekend.
Yeah, be here. Off Transylvanian Tower is gonna be fun.